driving for pleasure is dead. Pollution, congestion, speed cameras, parking tickets, the high cost of insurance, and so on. Yet, every now and again you find yourself on an empty road, gliding gracefully through a bewitchingly beautiful landscape. At which point, it's just you, your car, and the road. Driving a great road in your favorite car is one of the best experiences you can ever have. And yet, so few of us do it. Why? Because most of us believe that driving is dead. And even if we didn't, we'd have absolutely no idea where to find a great road. Step forward, the first of our unlikely saviours, Avis. Renting a car, a bit like everything else motoring related today, can be a little bit stressful at the best of times. But ultimately, at the heart of every car rental company must be a group of individuals who love driving and love cars. So perhaps then we should not be surprised when Avis stepped forward with a bold plan not just to find the best driving road in the UK, but the entire world. But there was a problem. They couldn't just drive every single road in the entire world to find out which is best. There's just too many of them. So they came up with a cunning plan. Instead of driving every road in the entire world, why not just create an algorithm that can do it for you? So when it came to designing their algorithm, they recruited Mark Hadley, a nuclear physicist. And then, feeling that they hadn't gone far enough, they decided to recruit the UK's most prolific roller coaster designer, Jonathan Wardley. Then they recruited none other than Herman Tilke himself, the F1 track designer. After all, who could possibly be better at finding a fun road than a man who designs them for a living? The result of all this hard work was the Avis driving ratio, or as they called it for short, the ADR. So, armed with their new ratio, Avis set forth to find the 25 best roads in the entire world. And as it should so happen, 3 of them are right here in the UK. The third best road, according to the ADR in the UK, is Keswick to Kendal. This is in Cumbria, and it traverses the awe-inspiring Lake District, which is just incredible. In second place, we have Cheddar to Ashwick, which is in Somerset. This road incredibly runs along the bottom of Cheddar Gorge. Very demanding road is how they describe it. In first place in the UK and third overall in the entire world, we have Holmes Chapel to Alderley Edge, which is in Cheshire. Apparently this is a twisting and undulating road which runs through picturesque Cheshire countryside. So, according to the algorithm, we have our podium, but what are these roads actually like to drive in real life, and how do they stack up against the best that the UK has to offer? Over the past few years, I've driven 100 of Europe's greatest driving roads, and from this, I've created a greatest driving roads scoring matrix. In essence, each road is scored across 6 different categories before receiving a score, an adjusted score out of 5. 5 being good, 1 being bad. In this 3-part mini-series, we are going to drive the 3 best Avis roads in the UK. I'm then going to give them a rating out of 5 to see how they compare against the best I've driven. To kick things off, we're going to drive Holmes Chapel to Alderley Edge, the best Avis road in all of the UK. On the map we can see this road is entirely contained within the historic county of Cheshire. It starts in the town of Holmes Chapel, a great place to grab a snack. You could pop into the Avis bakery where Harry Styles used to work apparently before he became famous. Obviously he didn't work there after he became famous. From here, the road makes its way north to Alderley Edge. The nice thing about this road is that it's super easy to get to. It starts right next to the M6. The road is just 15 miles long and should take around 20 to 25 minutes to drive. 4 directions, just enter Holmes Chapel and Alderley Edge in Google Maps. So Holmes Chapel first and then Alderley Edge as your destination. This is a surprisingly flat road with just one 50-meter dip at the beginning. However, there appears to be a lot of undulations, which is something Avis actually mentioned in their description. Today we're back in my trusty Porsche Boxster S. I really hope there's going to be an opportunity to put the roof down this time. Alright, let's drive. The first thing that captures your imagination on this route is not so much the road itself, but in fact a viaduct. It's not so much the size of the viaduct that captures the imagination, but instead the way in which it's revealed to you. Initially, as you leave Holmes Chapel, you get these sort of teasing little glimpses of it through the trees, and it's right next to you. You then descend into this valley, the one we saw on the terrain map, at which point the viaduct is revealed to you in all its sort of splendour and glory. One thing I love is the way it seems to just go straight over the top of this farm. The viaduct was built 180 years ago, and amazingly it still forms part of the main line which connects Manchester to Birmingham, or Birmingham to Manchester, depending on where you live. The viaduct itself is 500 metres long, 25 metres high, so it's quite big. I mean, even today I feel quite sort of impressed when I look at it, but just imagine what someone who came across it back in 1841 must have thought. You know, they wouldn't have seen it on the internet or photos of it. They would just come across it and, well, probably be quite blown away, to be honest. So, does this road live up to Avis's standards? After all, they rank this as the best road in the UK and the 3rd best road in the entire world. So that's some pretty big boots to fill. Let's kick off with road quality. One thing that's surprisingly important to driver enjoyment is smoothness. So a roller coaster isn't bumpy, and neither is a racetrack, and that is for a very good reason. Being shaken violently just isn't that much fun. It doesn't really add anything to the driving experience. This road is an A road, but the feeling is more like that of a B road. In places you have the lines missing, it's got some potholes, it's a bit rough. But despite that, it is actually relatively smooth. You could bring a supercar down here without any troubles. You'd be totally fine. This road is undeniably fun to drive. It just has a lovely flow to it, a bit like on a roller coaster. At the moment we're heading up the start of a roller coaster, and on a roller coaster you'd be a little bit terrified or maybe slightly bored, but here you get to listen to the engine revs build. It's just glorious. We're then released into a series of corners with these small undulations, so you get that sort of feeling of weightlessness as you crest them. One nice thing that this road has is that it has on-camber corners. So on-camber corners are those corners that are angled towards the apex or the middle of the corner, and they're a real joy to drive because you sort of get pushed into your seat before being flung out the far end. It's a lovely sensation. Okay, so we've come across some traffic and we're now going to try and overtake. We've given ourselves the ultimate challenge because we don't have just one vehicle to pass, we in fact have 4. At the front of the queue we got a tractor, so the first guy's refusing to overtake, which means that we can't overtake as well. So what we're going to do is we are going to time how long it takes us to get past. And that starts right now. We're not going to get past, are we? Okay, so why can't I get past? Well, we've just lost 2 cars. This is looking up. Okay, so the first reason we couldn't get past, we had double white lines. We're now back into a 50, and I think there might be some straights. The whole point of the Avis algorithm and the Avis ratio is that we should have corners and then straights. And this BMW is looking pretty racy as well, so we're going to drop it down to third, 2,500 revs. Okay, we've got a straight here. This is our opportunity. Oh, this is going to be scary. No, go, go on. Okay, we did not achieve anything. This is a difficult road to overtake on, and the reason it's difficult to overtake on is you have very high hedgerows, you've got a lot of double white lines, which, to be honest, probably you should, because if the corners are blind, you shouldn't really be overtaking anyway. One attraction you can't fail to notice is the Lovell telescope. At 76 meters in diameter, at 89 meters high, it is the world's 3rd largest radio telescope. And at the time of its construction in 1957, it in fact was the world's largest telescope. It is very impressive, and you're definitely going to see it on this road because it just towers way above the trees. An interesting thing about the telescope is that this is the telescope that the West used to track Sputnik, the first Russian satellite. It's also the telescope that the 4th Doctor Who fell to his death from in Series 18 Doctor Who. If you want to go and visit it, you can. There's a visitor centre and you can go all around it, nice displays. Alternatively, if you just want to get a bit closer, which I guarantee you will, then you can just pop in and have a coffee in the coffee shop, and that gives you a pretty good view of the telescope itself. Tip it in, here we go. Okay, this road is a lot of fun. I'm really getting into the flow of it now, but up ahead we have a horse box. Oh no, don't stop now. No. Okay, a horse box stopped in the middle of Cheshire. Oh my god, well you have to see this. So I'm just going to take a quick... This is a horse box with a difference. only in Alderley Edge. I've just arrived at Alderley Edge, the last town on this route, and I have to say it's not exactly what I was expecting. Holmes Chapel is fairly remote, and this is even more remote, so naturally I was expecting a handful of shops, maybe a couple of tractors, some sheep, but boy oh boy was I wrong. So far I've seen a Ferrari F12, I've seen a Lamborghini Huracan, an Aston Martin DB11, there's an M3 right there, and I've also seen a tractor. I mean, this is farming country after all. Whatever the local farmers are taking, I definitely want some. Today it's 32 degrees, and I have to say, right now, I almost feel like I'm not in the UK at all. This place really has quite a buzz, a vibe to it. It's amazing. Lots of shops to stop off at and cafes, so I definitely recommend popping in. It turns out that Alderley Edge is in fact not full of rich farmers. but is in fact full of rich Premier League footballers from the local city of Manchester. And I have to say, why not? At the end of the day, you've got lots of nice bars and restaurants in Alderley Edge, and it's in a beautiful part of the countryside. Why wouldn't you live here? I would. Having said that, just imagine if this little town formed its own football team. It would probably be the best football team in the entire world. Currently, we're on the way to Alderley's Edge. This route has many attractions. Down towards Holmes Chapel, you have Crewe, where you have the Bentley factory, and you can do tours around that. There's also OULTON Park race circuit, so if you want to do a track day, that's another option. At the Alderley Edge end, you have the Peak District, which is fantastic for walking, maybe one of the best places in the world. And then, of course, you also have Manchester with the nightlife and the football games. Okay, finally we've made it to Alderley's Edge. Edge in Cheshire apparently means high land, but as it happens, Alderley really does have its own edge, with beautiful views across all of Cheshire, and in particular apparently you can see Manchester in the distance. It's now the time to give this road a rating to find out if it really is the best road in the UK. Road quality. Road quality is average. It's smooth and wide enough to enjoy, but nothing special. It gets 3 out of 5. Road layout. Avis's algorithm really delivers in this area. The corners are great. I love sweeping up and over the undulations, and there are some decent straights as well. However, this road is incredibly short and doesn't have any medium to high speed corners. It gets 3 out of 5. Killjoys. One thing about the Avis algorithm is that it doesn't take killjoys into consideration. There's an excess of blind corners and blind undulations which make this road a little dangerous. As a result, there's a lot of speed restrictions and a lot of commuter traffic. It gets 2 out of 5. Scenery. The scenery around this road is your classic British countryside. It's very lush and green, but a little bit difficult to see from the car, so it only gets 3 out of 5. Attractions. Whether it's the TWEMLOW Viaduct, a Lovell telescope, or car spotting heaven, which is Alderley Edge. When it comes to attractions, this route really delivers some wow moments, and all from the comfort of your car. It gets 4 out of 5. X Factor. Thanks to all the attractions and the nice scenery, this is a fun route. But because of all the speed restrictions and the traffic, it just doesn't feel that special. So it gets 2 out of 5. Overall score. Okay, here we go. The best road in the UK, according to Avis, has an adjusted score of 1 out of 5. Ouch. So, why did this road do quite so badly? After all, Avis ranked this as the best road in the UK and the 3rd best road in the world, yet I've just given it 1 out of 5, which is the lowest possible score that I could give it. The thing is, the fundamental road is actually quite good, and in that sense the Avis algorithm has worked. We got lovely corners, beautiful undulations, stunning scenery, and a sort of sprinkling of straights so you can get a bit of speed up. If this road was empty, it had no speed restrictions, and it was at least 5 times longer, then it would in fact be one of the best roads in the UK. But it doesn't have any of these things, and so it's not. Next time out, we're going to drive the 2nd best road in the UK, which is Cheddar to Ashwick. I have a funny feeling this is going to be a bit of a corker. It's the middle of summer, it's in Somerset, which is green and lush and beautiful, and the road runs along the bottom of Cheddar Gorge, which pretty much guarantees that it's going to be absolutely epic. I can't wait.